So Michael and I, we're on a mission over here. We're on our way to Idaho. We're passing through Medford, and we meet this man. And he's like, "Are you sure you two are not angels?" We're going to tell you this story about this wonderful experience we just had at Trader Joe's.
Yes, so some of you who know me already might know that I am very fond of the book, The Pilgrims' Progress. And I walk into this Trader Joe's after we had eaten together, wearing this shirt here, this Open the Armory shirt. And the cashier, he asks me, "What is Open the Armory?" And I tell him, well, one of my favorite quotes, it goes like this: the Bible is the armory where we may equip for the struggle. So it's all about encouraging people with quotes and things like that. So right after that, he asks me, "So have you read The Pilgrim's Progress?" And in my heart, I'm like, of course I've read The Pilgrim's Progress. It's my favorite book, or my second favorite book, and that is like what I tell him. So I tell him it is my second favorite book, and he's like, whoa. And like Pilgrim's Progress is one of my favorite books too, and he tells me all about this, and he's like, "Hey, I was writing this book, a children's book, and you might not, if you're a purist, you might not really like it, because it changes up the words so that they rhyme. I'm getting this illustrated, it's going to be published in a few months." And I was like, whoa, of Pilgrim's Progress in rhyme, and my brain went somewhere, and I was like, I know something like that. And I pull up YouTube, and I'm like, Pilgrim's Progress movie, and I knew that there was this Pilgrim's Progress movie where they put all the words in rhyme. And I show it to him, and he's like, I wrote part of that movie. And then he said, I'm in that movie. And he said he was faithful, and immediately I was like, oh, I recognize this man. I was just so amazed, and I was just overfilled with joy in that these past few days, the time we have had this trip, for those of you who have read The Pilgrim's Progress, there's this portion where it goes into the hill difficulty. And we even quoted it together where he says, the hill difficulty, I covet to ascend. And it just is this powerful promise. And we were having this difficulty in our experience, and I was physically exhausted, emotionally exhausted. I was singing and claiming the promises, fighting the good fight. And I walk into this Trader Joe's and meet this brother, and it was such a blessing. I was so encouraged by God's providence. And we have a picture of him here. I think Enoch just had it. This brother there, and we can put a link in the description there for the video that he's a part of. And it was just such a great blessing, and it really encouraged me to be faithful in that which is least, to continue to walk by faith and trust that God orders our steps. And it really left me with the impression that it matters how we dress, because for a long time I like to dress plainly and simply, and it was a struggle for me to put on a shirt that had anything and all on it. But this all began because he asked me, so what is Open the Armory? So I encourage you to not only be faithful and to trust in God, but to dress in a way that causes people to ask a question. Whether it be because you wear a dress or you wear suspenders or whatever it is that you do, but prompt people to ask you, what is the reason for the hope that is in you? What is Open the Armory? What is on your shirt? And why do you have a smile? Because wearing is not exclusive to clothing. Why are you so joyful? Can be a question that you can answer.
Absolutely. And I was over here in the parking lot, and I was seeing these guys talking. This guy, he's usually not the most animated with his arms and getting all excited and like, yeah, unless it's talking about the Bible, Open the Armory, Pilgrim's Progress. And so I'm over there, I'm just walking, and I see Michael like through the doors that they were about to close, and I like barely see him, and his arms going like this, like he's preaching. And I'm like, they must be talking about the Bible over there. So I'm like, let me show up, and then I go there, and I quickly discern they're talking about Pilgrim's Progress. And then he's like, yeah, I wrote part of that book. And I was like, what? And then Michael pulls up on his phone, he's like, hey, this is a YouTube video of the Pilgrim's Progress movie. And I'm like, that was recorded here? And he was saying, yeah, that's from here. And he's like, where are you guys from? And we're like, well, we're coming, he's from Pennsylvania. I'm from Southern Oregon, so we're in Medford, Oregon here. And this is where I grew up. And then I told them that we're on our way to Idaho, and we are on this caravan. We're all moving. And he's like, oh, wow, so how long are you being here? It's like, we're just passing through. He's like, whoa, this It's like, what are the chances of both of you being here? And I'm like, this is not a coincidence. And he's like, no way. God, and he's like, are you sure you're not angels? And we're like, we are messengers, but we're not that kind of angel. And we do have a message. So we swapped contact information. We're going to be in touch. And that's the power. When you have these great connections, I want to encourage you, a tip for evangelism is get people's contact info. It's good leaving literature, giving them a DVD or a book, but so much better if you can swap phone numbers, Facebook contact, so that you can keep in contact together throughout the week and continue to maintain and develop a relationship. I'm really looking forward to seeing this young brother. It looks like he's on fire for Christ, and hey, anyone who likes the Pilgrim's Progress is a friend of ours, right, Michael?
Amen.
That's right. And if you haven't gotten the book Pilgrim's Progress, you gotta check it out. It is an amazing book. John Bunyan wrote that book when he was sitting in prison for preaching the gospel. And he was breathing the very atmosphere of heaven as he wrote that book. And through that, the light illuminating from those prison cells, it has led thousands of souls to the celestial cities. And it is our desire that you would be one of those souls to be led to the celestial cities as a result of that book. You've got to check it out. There's audiobooks online. There's movies of it on YouTube. It's just a very encouraging Christian allegory. There's a reason why it's his second favorite book.
Amen. Amen. So, thank you so much for watching this video. I encourage you to be a witness, to dress as a Christian, and to cause people to ask the reason for the hope that is in you. Shalom,
Amen.
my friends.